Hi there. I promised I'd do a video training this week about Create Your Designed Life. So I just wanted, it'd probably be about 15-20 minutes that I'm here. So if you read the post, this is in line with that. And so for most people, there's at least one, if not more areas of life that could be better than they're experiencing. And that applies to all of us. And everything starts with the inner game of our mental environment, our physical environment, the people in our lives. So your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. That comes first. So this is about Create Your Designed Life. That's what my business has been built upon, fixing problems, getting people improved outcomes. So I'll just go through this. So for you, just focus on you as you're listening to this, because there's your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. Yes. Then there comes money. So you derive money either, usually if you've got a career or if you've got a business. Then so there's your money, and then your skills within how to do what you do better in order to improve your life and have a better bank balance. Then there comes the area of your appearance, your vitality, your inner game of how you feel about you in your identity every day. You give out from who you're being. We do. And then you've got the aspect of all your relationships. So there can be the people that you allow into your life, who are your friends. And then there's the inner circle, then there can be a lot of acquaintances. And so it's all around your energy and what you'll tolerate, whether you're going to leave some people behind or those you really value. And there's your family relationships. And then there's love relationships. So in all of the areas of your life, I created a business based upon all of this back in the day when I was a counsellor and a family therapist. So Create Your Designed Life is about having certainty and control about what you want to bring into your life. Otherwise, like a lot of people, they don't do this. So they're they're just at the mercy of stuff coming at them, stuff happening to them. And I'm going to say something a little bit straight here. It is our responsibility. We've been given a good mind, a sound mind, most of us, to use. So if you're not at cause in your own life, getting clear on what you really want, setting about making a decision to change what's not working, and then you don't know everything. So you've got to get someone who's walked the path, not just out of books, who's walked the path, who knows their stuff, called a coach or a mentor. And these are the people like me who have got skills because we've walked the path. You've got to upskill, like it or leave it. You've got to upskill if you want better. If you want to leave stuff behind in all of those areas I've just mentioned, you have to upskill. And you have to know what limitations are there. And for someone, because many people have blind spots and they're not aware of the limiting thoughts and decisions that are keeping them stuck, holding them back. That's another reason why you need a coach or a mentor. So these are the areas, but you've got to upskill. So I always say, you can have what you want. Yes. And it comes at a price. And the first part of that price is making a decision that you won't tolerate the mediocrity anymore. And you're willing to step up for yourself, to be more and have more. So that's the ride. That's what I'm inviting you to. Create your designed life in all the areas that I've mentioned. So I built my business. I'll just give you a little bit of backstory here. So all very well, I was a counsellor, didn't know how to do business, had not a clue, full of passion, fell flat on my backside because I didn't know how to let people know about me and the problems that I solved. Didn't know how to sell. So years later, up to now, short track everything here, invested a ton of money. So I'm getting to a point here of something you really need to lean into and listen to. And this is why I say to you, I've walked the path. So I built my business based on, full of the passion and ideas, and been in the personal development space for years and then in the coaching space, but still there were gaps. Anyway, there was a time where I borrowed money. This is what you need to listen to because I know what I'm talking about. I've done it. And that's why I can get people what they want in all these areas. And there's a methodology, strategy and process. You can't do it all by yourself. And if you think you can, that's delusional. But so back in the day, some years ago, I had no way to finance the education that I really wanted to commit to and learn about. And a friend believed in me and she loaned me the money and we did a legal contract and I was happy to do that. So the pressure was on. The pressure was on and it was $12,000 and this was about 6 years ago. And so the pressure was on. It was like, I loved her so much. We were good, dear friends, because I don't have many friends in my inner circle. And I wanted to honour her belief in me. And I thought, freak, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay this back? I just knew that I was going to. But I had to work out a way. I had to rely on me. So I reflected back to when I was an insurance agent, before I got into the counselling space, all of this, and I was a commissioned insurance agent and I wanted the end of year bonus and I had to make a certain amount of income of life insurance, not general insurance, not car insurance and all that stuff, but good rock solid life insurance. And I had to make a certain amount of income by the beginning of December to qualify for this end of year bonus, which back then was $7,000, which isn't much now, but back then it was a lot for me. Anyway, so I learnt what to do. So that was my goal. And I found a strategy from a book that was written in the 1920s. And, one of those manifesting books and positive thinking, all that good stuff. And so I just worked that methodology and I achieved. Let's come back to now, 6 years ago, when I had that debt of $12,000 to my darling friend. And so I thought, rightio, this is what I've got to do. How am I going to do it? So I started, I created my own, because no one likes to get cold calls and from strangers. And I don't, and I'm not easy to deal with when I get cold calls. So I came up with I wrote my own script of what to say when I cold called in a way that how I'd like to be called as a cold call, because they're usually done very badly, aren't they? So I came up with a concept of providing such quality value and service to people and to be able to solve problems for a fee. So long story short, that $12,000 that my friend loaned me, I paid that back, as well as in gratitude, I paid back $5,000 more as a thank you within a really short time. Can you imagine how that changed me and my self-belief and my confidence? So because the pressure was on, I was in a hole. There was no plan B. I couldn't let me down. I couldn't let her down. So that brings me to what I'm on about here in this video, because all of the problems in life I've created a business called Create Your Design Life based upon whatever the problem is. That's no big deal. There's always a solution. 9.5 times out of 10. There's always a solution. So the system that I came up with 6 years ago, I've fixed people's problems based upon that methodology, and that's been the most thorough way and highest of integrity to do business. And so I don't sell to people and push and shove like the old way of selling. So I go deep first and a bit like a doctor. So I always go for a diagnosis, and then I understand, you know, what the problems are, and then I get a diagnosis and I can relate that back to the person, whether it's, you know, their personal life, their marriage, their business, their bank account, their health, their mindset, whatever's going on. The first 7 years of life, if they've still got limitations in the subconscious from when that programming was set. So I give the diagnosis, and it's beautiful because there's no obligation. People know the truth. They get the feedback from a high value diagnostic consultation. And then if they want me to customize something for them, I'll know what exactly they require, because I know their problems and I know the pitfalls and their shortfalls and their limitations and all of those areas. I'm just being really brief here because of time. But this is the methodology of Create Your Designed Life. There has to be a methodology. Otherwise you're throwing mud at the wall and wasting money. So, and people have different learning styles. You know, sometimes I'll do a video and price that and send it to someone. Sometimes people need a lot of skills training, and I customize that and just make them a hell of a lot more money. And if they're in an established business, I can make them well, most clients up to, I'll be conservative, but 40% more income within a 6-week period. So I'm not spruiking, this is fact from testimonials from clients who have paid me. And though that increase in their income is without spending $1 to get leads externally on marketing. So I've walked that path, I know it. And the communication skills involved in all of this, nobody is born with. And I just find that communication skills make or break every aspect of our life, particularly love relationships, when someone isn't willing to communicate at a heart level, at a deeper level. And in business, if people are only willing to stay in the shallow water, they're going to miss out on improving people's lives with a higher level of service and improving your own bank account, because everything is an exchange in business. So if you want to have more impact in people's lives, you must make a decision and get absolute, you don't have to know how, because if you knew how watching this, there'd be no point continuing. I'd say stop the video, you don't need this. But most people have got at least one area in their life that's under average, that could be 10x'd. And most people, in my experience of being in business, have got more than one problem. And that is why I created Create Your Design Life, because of all of those different areas which encapsulate my background, my past, and my expertise. So that brings me to, so this is 14 minutes where I'll try and wrap this up really soon and open up my calendar for you to be able to see what times I've got available, so that you can book in an initial chat. And then if it's, you know, if we find that, and if I assess that we should continue, then we will discuss having the 2-session consultation to get you a diagnosis, not to be sold to. It's no obligation on that. So anyway, so getting back to this, like all of my clients who I've done this for, it's an absolute joyful experience because I'm not trying to push. The problems that show up are their problems, and whether they've had them for 6 months or 16 years or 5 years, we go down to the truth of the matter and find out the issues that are holding someone back, whatever they are, without judgment, you know, because you don't know what you don't know. And that is why life is about learning, because if you're not learning and growing, well, you're going to get a hell of a lot more of the same old in those areas that I've said. Your mental health, in your mindset, your limitations in the subconscious, not the conscious. The subconscious, everyone's got limitations from those first 7 years in life. And when you're growing yourself and growing your business at different levels, new limitations show themselves. So it's an ongoing process. And so really, all it comes down to, this is very distilled, what I'm about to say. Because I once had a dear old friend, and she said to me one day, the clock is always ticking. So what else, because I was questioning what I was doing, and she said, well, Leslie, the clock is always ticking. So what are you going to do with your time? And I've remembered that. She was a wise old lady. And that's why I'm saying now, you can say, look, I don't want to know about all this. I'm fine. Well, that's your decision and your prerogative. But the clock is ticking, and if a lot of people settle for the same old churning of the negative thoughts, the negative emotions, the negative behaviours, the negative intentions, the indecisiveness, the procrastination, the stress, the panic, the fear, the anxiety, nothing's new. So the only ones who get happier, get healthier, get freer, have more thankfulness, more gratitude, are those who do more inner work. Yes, more, it's an inner game. 80% of everything is 80% is an inner game. Then the rest is to level up your skills, your communication skills, and the skills that are going to get you what you want. That's it. I think I'm done. It's 18 minutes. I tried to keep it under 20. So thank you if you've stayed around till the end. Good on you. And so the link, my Calendly link is going to be here for you to see what times I've got available, so that you can have a look, book in a time, and we'll jump on that Zoom call, and I'll take you through a few questions just to see if we're on the same page, and we can then determine if it's going to be a 2-session consultation, where I give you, at the end of the second session, I give you the diagnosis on whatever presenting problem or problems that you want to address. So thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you on a Zoom call. Bye-bye.